I've been learning to mountain bike this summer. I've been riding a bike kind of my whole life, as long as I can remember. But getting off the road, off the pavement, onto trails in the woods where there's sharp corners, there's roots, there's rocks, it's thrown me a little bit. And I've watched videos and I'm trying to learn about balancing on the bike. And one of the things that they teach you is we tend to hold onto the handlebars too tight, that we need to hold them loosely, trusting our balance on the bike, trusting the bike itself as we corner and go over the roots and the rocks. Well, that's been really hard for me. In fact, I looked down this morning because my wrists were sore. And sure enough, my arms were tense. I wasn't holding loosely, I was holding on for dear life. Because I love to be in control. And that's a challenge for me. And I believe it was a challenge for the Apostle Paul in our New Testament. In his letter to the Corinthians, his second letter, chapter 12, he says to us that he cried out to the Lord 3 times to remove a thorn of Satan, to remove something. We believe it was an illness. Some suggest it might have been his vision. We don't know. But he wanted to be healed. And God didn't bring healing, physical healing, to the Apostle Paul. But he did speak to the Apostle Paul. And he said, "My grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness." And clearly a light bulb went off for the Apostle Paul, and I hope it does for us today. In verse 10, Paul speaks and writes this: "That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong." You see, Paul got what God was saying. It's in his grace. It's when we actually trust God to work in and through us that we are strong. When we're gripping the handlebars, when we're trying to remain in control, when we're trying to fix or solve in our own strength, we're actually pretty weak. But when we put our trust in him and his power at work in us, God can do anything. But we need to loosen the grip on the handlebars and trust God. And in that vulnerable place, in that weakness, Christ in us can be strong. So that's my challenge for you and for me this week. Let's loosen our grip on those handlebars. Let's put our trust in God. Let's not rely on our own strength, but begin to rely more on the strength that God gives us through his power and his Spirit at work in us and through us. God bless you. Lean into God and see what he accomplishes in you this week. We'll see you next week.